Why are they over here always stalking? Acting fucking weird. We gotta catch that no using turn signal, motherfucker. Indeed. No turn signal, huh? Interesting. You just stalking me, bro? Is he just stalking me? Is he gonna come in here? Psych. Let's see. Yep, he is there. Chilling. What's up?
So is that your car over there? Suburban?
Yeah.
So are you aware that you have to stay on the gravel? You can't be parking?
No one ever told me that. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I got you.
So I wasn't aware. I didn't see any signs or anything that said that.
Yeah, it's per the park's ordinances. You got to stay because one, it's
so over by the actual field. There's like a little dirt thing that drives in. Am I allowed to go right there?
So there's technically a path that people have made. They're not supposed to drive. You got to stay either on the gravel or on the asphalt. That's why there's parking spots and everything.
For sure, I can move it. Sorry about that.
Oh, you're good. Do you have? Can I get your name and date of birth, brother?
Sure, I don't care.
Oh, you got an ID on. Perfect. Where you just run into the bathroom?
Oh, yeah.
Station, I got a 29. Can you start me a parking complaint? Yeah. What brings you all the way from Arkansas?
I moved down here.
Oh,
I live in my truck right now, and I got a job down here, so
yeah,
it's pretty much what happened.
Figure everything out.
Well, I left down from Arkansas because me and my ex's new boyfriend weren't getting along, and I figured I'd like kind of take off for like 6 months to a year, let it diffuse.
Give me 1 second. Sorry, I'm not trying to be rude. It's going to be last name of Buttrey, Boy Union, Tom, Robert Edward Young, first name Joseph, John Ocean Sam, Edward Paul Henry, date of birth 7/12/1997, white male, out of Arkansas. Good job, brother.
Thank you.
Okay, so you moved down here just because a lot of stuff going on?
I didn't want to deal with my ex's new boyfriend, I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah.
Because, like, me and him almost got in a fight once, and it didn't happen, so I'm thankful for that. But, like, at the same time, not really needed to be around him, you know what I mean? So, like, last time she had a new boyfriend, I waited, like, 6 months to a year, and I finally ended up becoming his friend. So it takes a while. It's not one of those things where you just meet him the first day and you guys, like, shake hands and love each other, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. Like, I wouldn't want to deal with all that either. But what kind of places are you looking at?
Actually, so I don't know the name of them, but I have this packet that I'm filling out for housing. So one of my GMs at work, she told me about it, and then my friends already live there, so they helped me get the packet. So I'm trying to get in there.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. Trying to get everything.
Well, I've never actually had my own place yet, like by myself, and that's what I'm going for, basically.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of, I don't know if you qualify for like lower income housing, that kind of stuff. Like, there's a bunch of different apartments that are like government assisted apartments here in Webb.
That's what they are, but I didn't know if they had them over here as well as Joplin, because the ones I looked at are in Joplin.
So there's the Maplewood Manor, which is over on Orinoco Street. There's actually quite a bit, so you just have to do like a little bit of research and everything like that. If you don't mind, what we're going to do, because I got to run your tag, okay? Because you're parked illegally, right? You can't be parked in all those trees. I don't know if you're planning to stay there.
No, I'm hammocking, basically, is what's going on.
Oh, okay, so you string hammocks between the trees and everything and stay?
Pretty much.
Let you know, the park closes at a certain time, okay?
Okay.
So it's open from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m., right? There's signs on all of the entrances, right? So if you were planning on staying in the park, you can't do that after hours.
Right.
Right, or else someone would contact you again and tell you to leave.
Of course.
Right. There's a couple of public, I mean, technically they're private, but you can stay at Walmart, like people do that, unless they complain about it, right?
Well, I know you guys are also, like, so the city here is strange. Like, they also operate as animal control from the police department, from what I read. Joplin, different story. They have their own. Every city and ordinance is different. And it's kind of what I'm learning.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it is. I mean, they're similar, but there's a lot of like different niche ordinances that people aren't aware of. But they're all public, right? If you wanted to look at the ordinances yourself, they're online. I'm gonna drive over there, just get your tag. Okay. You don't have any warrants or anything?
No, I'm not gonna lie to you. So like, it's weird as hell. So when I changed my job, I told my insurance to move it to the 28th, and last month it was weird, it didn't hit on the 28th. So I was gonna call State Farm and just double check and make sure, because usually they don't. They'll let me know before they pull it. Do you know what the Rain app is?
Rain?
So it's like basically kind of like a money cash advance app, but it lets you access like 50% of what you worked for yesterday or whatever. It's like I have the money if it did lapse to put it back on supposedly, but I just wanted to make sure so that way if something like that did happen, you already know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you. Well, I appreciate that. If you want to start headed that way, I'll meet you over there, brother. Okay. that a special tag?
So the tag itself, no. The plate is a police supporter plate.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what it is.
Do you know if the L0 or LO is red in the tag normally?
It should be red in there. It should be LOCRFC.
Okay. We got a puppers.
Yeah, I didn't want her hanging out while I went over to the bathroom, but yeah, I was gonna let her roam around. This is kind of where I chill with her. I hammock and then let her chill out with me.
Yeah. So, like you said, ordinances are all different. Okay, you gotta have a leash.
Oh, she has a leash.
Okay, perfect. As long as she's on the leash and everything.
See, Joplin is a whole different story. That's why I decided to look up the laws.
Yeah.
That's why I'm well versed on them here with the dog and everything. That's how I knew you guys were like animal control technically. It's very weird because Joplin has their own.
Yeah.
But the thing with Joplin is they had one person that worked for them who was a good person and they were nice and they were normal about everything. But then the other guy lied to me and tried to say I was trespassed from Joplin. I'm like, he's not a cop, so he can't even do that. And then he could trespass me from Walmart if I have my dog outside and Walmart tells him like, hey, we called you, we don't want him here technically, but the problem is that guy didn't do anything correctly. You would have to tell somebody, well, how long they're, not able to go to Walmart, for example. There'd be a number of things you have to do to let that person know that they can't come back. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, he tried to tell me that I couldn't be in Joplin, and I'm like, I work in Joplin.
That's a little bit weird. Like
He don't like homeless people is what I learned, and I don't view myself the same as like some people because I live in here, but it's a little different than sleeping outside, which I've done that before too. So
yeah. I mean, I always like to treat people fair. Like I see people as people, regardless. Everyone has different circumstances in their life, so I'm not going to treat someone different just because they're living in their car.
Right. That's one thing that I've traveled and I lived in Arkansas before. It really depends on what city you're in, because down there they hate homeless people.
Station, add a Lincoln 0 to the front of that. So it should be Lincoln 0, Charles, Robert, Frank, Charles at Arkansas. But yeah, I can't speak for other people and the decisions they make. I always just tell people, because we deal with a variety of different people. Mm-hmm. Right? So a lot of times there's people who have a bad opinion of law enforcement, that type of stuff.
Oh,
and
dude.
they're judging it based off of one experience that they've had with one police officer, and that's like less than 1%.
It's interesting because when I was a teenager, I used to get in trouble all the time, right? But I learned that when I was getting in trouble, it was my fault. It was decisions I was making, or not going to court was pretty retarded. Like, why would you do that? But yeah, I used to do that all the time and get an FTA, and I lived in Colorado at the time. I knew a lot of people in the department, went to high school with me. I used to be a dick and be like, come do your job and get me. And of course they would. But why though? Now that I'm a lot older, I kind of see how stupid that was.
So would this be classified as a personalized tag? Maybe.
I don't know how Arkansas does it. It should be.
Nebraska and Indiana, theirs have different, a whole list of stuff. But for whatever reason, it's not coming back on file. Even running it both ways. Is that a 0 or is that an O?
That should be a O.
Okay. So I'm just gonna run the VIN. Dude.
You can do that, yeah.
Did you buy it out of Arkansas or what?
I bought it out of it was out of Arkansas on Wanda Blackwell's lot off of Rainbow Curve.
Okay, so it's bought, so the title and everything.
I got all that.
Out of Arkansas.
Mm-hmm. And well, the original title was from Oklahoma because whoever sold it to the car lot was from Oklahoma. But then I got it switched into my name under an Arkansas one, if that makes sense.
Okay, so does the title at the top of it say state of Oklahoma or state of
Arkansas? Okay. Yeah, that confused me too when I bought the truck. Just because of the way that it was at the lot, but they explained that the person sold it to him out of Oklahoma.
Must be taking another call. I told him to stand by. How many miles does this thing have on it?
240 something thousand.
And is it a 98?
99.
99? Yeah, that's not bad.
This is basically from what my dad said with the computer system and everything on this truck. He said it's the newest, everything is upgraded on it to the point that they could get it to. Yeah. And then he said it's the last of that body style and the mind fucking.
1 second. Sorry, sir. 3 George Nora, Frank King 1, 6 Robert 8, X-Ray George 2, 58733. It's going to be a 1999 Chevy Suburban. Sorry, you can continue.
Oh no, you're good. So in '99 they started producing the other body style at the same time. So there's a '99 of that body style and a '99 of this, different transmission and all that. So it's like.
So this is the older body style where it's square, and then they started coming out with the rounded one. Right?
Yeah.
Good.
This is just actually it's so weird. The cutoff time when they released both vehicles makes you kind of wonder why they did that. But yeah, at some point in '99 they switched over to the other body style. But in order to do that, they switched like the transmission and all kinds of stuff. So it kind of beats me why you'd want two 99s, but the company wanted to.
It could be one of those things where it was like a conflict of like people who, I don't know, vehicle designers.
People were ready for something new, but the other people that were probably into this body style were begging to keep that.
Yeah, I had it was a 2008 Suburban, and it was the newer one after the rounded one. So it was like a mixture of the two, I suppose. Like it was newer looking, but it was still a little bit older.
Right.
It was mean. I mean, it had a V8 in it.
Well, at one point, when I have enough money and everything, I wanted to LS swap it.
Yeah.
But that's going to take quite some time.
Yeah.
My dad...
I don't have anything for you, brother. If you just would move over to the gravel or whatever, then we don't have any issues, dude.
Yeah, sure. Can do.
Sweet. I'm sorry to bother you.
Oh, no,
it's just one of those things. I saw you over here, and I was like, what the heck? And then I thought you were following me.
I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be 100%. I audit, and I kind of was, but like...
I saw you hold your phone up, and I'm not...
The reason why is because I was confused. Like, so I know the difference between like patrolling and someone wants something to do with you. I was kind of curious why you guys were circling me. It was just what it was.
I literally was looking for someone else who potentially has warrants that hangs out here. I drove around. I saw you like turn around and park real weird, and I was like, I don't think people are allowed to park over there. And so I even called I was on the phone with my supervisor while I was driving by, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure people aren't allowed to park out in the middle of the field under all the trees. He's like, no, they're not. And then I circled around while I was still on the phone, and I see you in my rear view, like, recording me, which I'm not worried about people recording. Right? Like,
I'm not gonna lie, it's because of other places that I've lived. It's not because of you guys particularly. It's because in Arkansas, it's kind of like you never know what you're gonna get out there. I've met really cool cops there, and I've met cops there. Basically, I used to get gang stalked all the time, and it'd be weird. Like, I go to the gas pump, right? But they would be like on the side of me without the side that you can pump gas on, and they would do that constantly. And it just got to the point where like I started realizing they were using the flock cams and ALPRs. Like, they would know exactly where I was, send a unit to go follow me, and I just got irritated because I lived in Centerton. It's a small town. I just started realizing, and as I started auditing, it pissed them off even more. So like, but eventually they kind of left me alone. But the thing is, I started realizing they were like going through the neighborhoods with drones. But my whole thing with that police department is they would never pull me over. They'd follow me everywhere. And I'd be like, well, if I broke the law, pull me over. And they wouldn't do that. So, and I don't know if it's because in the past I had a shitty record. I don't have any felonies, but like I had misdemeanors growing up because I was an idiot.
And who knows? It could be none of that and more of like a personal vendetta thing.
Oh, like, the mayor there doesn't like me either because he was an ex-cop from a different city in a different state, and they just didn't like the way that I wanted to help people change the community because I realized there was a lot of messed up stuff going on. Like the mayor out there, the guy didn't get away with it, but he got a way lesser charge for stealing $60,000 from the actual city. This city worker stole $60K. He supposedly paid restitution, no jail or prison, really. And that's what kind of messes with me is that I see stuff like that. And then I would go home, right? I would be driving my truck, go home, I'd hop out the truck, and I would notice there was this one particular chick that used to like stalk me all the time. She doubled back, and I knew she was going to. I just had a feeling. I hid behind my dad's car, so when she got like kind of like right over here-ish, distance-wise, I hopped up back out of the car and I went, hey, like, come here, like I'm trying to talk to you, not in a weird way, but like I knew she was trying to stalk me, and then she sped off. Instead of actually stopping and rolling the window down, this chick sped off, and like, I don't know, it just leaves a bad taste in your mouth when you see certain things. But growing up in Broomfield, Colorado, the cops were nice to me. I always, if I did something, you know, it was my fault, but Broomfield, Colorado, the police never ever did anything bad to me. It's just that one area in Arkansas that I had such a problem with that, I don't know, it kind of scares you, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'd met this one particular cop in the same city. Great guy. But it's like, how do we give this guy credit for being a good cop if these guys over here being dickheads and then they ruin it for the people that are good? Because I know there are good in the department.
Yeah.
So,
And I'm sorry you had to go through all that stuff, right?
You're good.
It honestly irritates me as someone who's trying to not violate people's rights, doing my due diligence to, one, treat people fairly as well as treat people as people.
Yeah,
I pride myself on trying to be the good in law enforcement as opposed to...
Well, it's weird because, like, I was debating on telling you whether or not that I was auditing at the time when you said, did I go over there because you thought I was following you? Like, I was debating on actually telling you because most cops I probably wouldn't have said that to, but you've been really cool with me. So, like,
I don't have an issue. Like,
that's why I'm
you
like...
have every right to record me. Even if you're recording now, I don't really care.
You know,
that's your right.
I mean, I've been recording, but the weird thing is, though, in general, in public, though, you would be surprised by how many police you run into who either don't understand the camera laws or they do and they just think that you might be stupid enough to not. Yeah. Does that make sense? Because I have had a cop tell me to not record, and I know that's not correct. But yeah, I have had that happen to me before, ironically. So,
which I've never had any issues with people recording. Like, I actually tell people record. Like, if you're worried about something, pull your phone out. Like, I'm recording right now too. Like, you have that same right.
That's the other thing is, like, one time I got pulled over. See, this is where I really got irritated, is like with my whole like auditing channel. Also, like I told you, over the years, all these different cities around it became very known that I was doing that. And I'd run into a situation with a K9 unit in the traffic unit in Bentonville, Arkansas. This cop pulls me over and tells me that he pulled me over because he thought I didn't have a seatbelt on. And then he tells me, well, you have one on now. You must have just put that on. And my response, because I felt like he was trying to trap me, verbally, I just said, I plead the fifth, and he got very angry. And he came back. I didn't get a warning. I got a ticket, so I went to court for all that. But aside from that, though, when he left, he ran the stop sign and he didn't use a turn signal, and I got that part on camera. But what he didn't expect is when I Freedom of Information Act requested the dash and body cam, and I had him on his own camera doing it. That's when it flip-flopped, and I was in court, and a lot of people gave me props for this, because I got up when I was in court speaking to the judge, and I ran it by him. I was like, hey man, like, I'm not admitting to anything on this, but when the traffic unit pulls you over for let's say a seatbelt ticket and then runs a stop sign, doesn't use a turn signal, I could tell you running a stop sign is a more expensive ticket than that dang seatbelt ticket. So I'm like, how am I supposed to feel?
Like $10.
Well,
so I don't know how it works in Arkansas.
So I asked how basically to file a complaint and everything. So he tells me how, and I'm like, well, that's really funny because I already did that. I already spoke to the captain. I already emailed all these people you're talking about, and they ignored me. And about 2 hours after I got out of court, I got a response. So the judge yelled at them because he realized they were about to make a big mistake. And like the footage, though, in the weirdest way, that footage kind of helped me see like which cops were good and bad by their attitude and everything. Because I started to learn that it was more the night shift. But the problem with that is you got a lot of cops that work night shift and day shift, and they work it a certain way to where it flips every other day or something. And because of that, that's where I ran into those issues. And I just didn't think it was right that a cop pulled me over saying that I didn't have a seatbelt, but then did that, and he thought it was funny and just didn't understand it. And then it's just mind-blowing when someone like that keeps their job, though, too, because it's like a complete, like, you're basically stepping on the trust of the public. Because it's like, whether or not I liked him or not, like, that's not cool. It feels like bullying is what it feels like.
One thing that you also have to keep in mind, though, is people make mistakes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we have all this stuff on.
Well,
we're all people. We have the same emotions. We get upset. People say stupid stuff out of anger. They say stupid stuff whenever emotions get high, right? I'm not perfect either.
Right.
Okay, there's times where I've snapped off at someone and I shouldn't have, right? But I always apologize, that type of thing. We all make mistakes, right? And so maybe something happened before that you're not aware of. Maybe he just saw some baby that was drowned and dead, right? You don't know.
I have
the totality.
It was very weird. It was basically what happened is it was a pretext stop because the night prior to that, I knew they were following me. I knew they were using the ALPRs and the flock cams, and I just knew that there was a cop behind me, so I started filming, and certainly there was, and he flew around me and did all kinds of weird maneuvers that were illegal, and I had it on camera. I posted that, and that actually really made him look bad. So because of that, the next day, I was getting followed all around, and it's kind of hard not to notice, but like he even said on his camera, like, yeah, I've been following you for a minute. I'm like, but why? Because they were mad that I filmed another cop. That's what happened. So it became like one of those things where I felt bullied, but then the weirdest thing happened. Like I told you over there, me and my ex's boyfriend almost got in a fight. And because we met up, technically that's illegal. Because both of us showed up at a location or whatever, you're not supposed to do that. Because basically at that point, if you tell somebody like, if you agree to a fight and you both show up, that's illegal. You can't do that. Well, basically, I was at my work and I was just like, you know where I'm at? And then obviously I said where I was at, and he showed up. And the cops were like, you don't realize this, but because you told him to come here, basically, they're like, we could arrest you right now. But like, they're like, what we're going to do is we're going to send you both your separate ways because both of you are in the wrong, and I could, send both of you to jail right now. But
466 copy.
In a weird way, it was almost like from all the other times where they were shitty to me, they made up for it by being cool to me for once, by telling us to go our separate ways. So
your first name's Joseph, right?
Yes.
Well, Joseph, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be rude, and
you probably got another call.
I do. Yeah, duty calls. So I appreciate this conversation.
Yeah, of course, man.
I'm always good. I always like talking to people, seeing other experiences, that type of stuff. I call it a testimony.
Right.
Everything that you've gone through, it's important. Right.
See, it's also important that cops interact with the public, and people don't realize how important that is. I think they don't. And like, even this conversation, I feel better about Webb City Police Department because I'd never met any of you guys. Yeah. All I see is the cop car, and y'all got some interesting looking cop cars here.
Yeah, ours, I'm supposed to get new decals on mine because they're starting to fade, but the fire department does them, and so
I had a double take. That's the first time I saw one of them to make sure it was even, because I thought it was security for a second.
Yeah, but I got another call, brother. So
for sure, man. Have a great rest of your day.
You too. Stay safe, okay?
I will.
Keep doing your thing. You're not doing anything wrong. So if anyone tells you otherwise, unless you are actually doing something wrong.
Of course.
But have a good one. Be safe.
You too, man.
Okay?